Hello then folks, welcome and welcome back. I'm Pxy-STREAM and this stream is a bit sort of entertainment. Basically, I'm making this, there's in the video, exactly when I start the, okay, so hold on. Here, alô, alô, sim? Não tô ouvindo. Alô? Yeah. Alright, so... Mas dá para deixar bem na frente ali, do lado de dentro, né? Alright, so sorry about that, folks. Exactly at the time I was starting the live stream, there was someone calling in the apartment. Yes, it was donations. I have a lot of materials that I was donating for charity. Some religious group that has a system. They employ some people to renew some tinkering, right? Whatever we have that can be reused, and then they sell it at very low prices to these federal. Yeah, so it's not like donating. It doesn't go directly to the people, unfortunately, this particular. But the good thing is that this, at least they employ some people to make those tinkerings, and then so it's a non-profitable thing, business, right? Non-profitable activity, better to say. And so that's very good. The people they employ is also from let's say less favorable. They are looking for some work, and so this is a work that is also collaborative, and the price they make is very cheap, whatever they can recover from the donations that can be. Okay, so here this is an Akali model. I will put in, it's already in the descriptions of the video, so maybe you can see. And this is a rigged model that I've downloaded for free on the internet. You can find it probably, yeah. And so I was making this animation, this 3D animation, but now it's not completely done, right? The timing, there's things that are bad. Yeah, maybe so I've been retaking over and over, bit by bit, until I get this. Yeah, if we look at in some controlled fashion, like the movements are quite cool, and from certain angles, of course. My struggle now is to get all this thing working well enough in preset timing, right? So for example, here I'm on a 15 FPS. I've made that so that this will be I made it in this artificial way, right? So reduce the frequency so that I could get this more spiky and crusty motion. I come from 2D traditional animation, and I think this is very neat. I'm not fan of very fluid animation. I think this is for I'm not gonna say what I think about that. Yeah, no, this is for. Yeah, I'm gonna speak out my mind. This is for retards. If you like animation, yeah, there are tastes, of course, there are styles, whatever. So maximum respect to folks that like whatever. But it's like, when everyone can neatly appreciate like naturalistic drawing paintings, that's for like anyone can appreciate something. This is a replica of nature. Wow, like in painting, right? And then photography, right? Realism, it's easy to appreciate realism because it's nature, right? What is really hard to appreciate is to try to, and I'm not saying, oh, this is better, this is worse. No, it's not in this sense. What I mean is just that usually it's simple to appreciate something that is realistic. And in the case of animation, it is something slightly more abstract, because movement is not a picture. Movement is dynamic. We don't pin movement in time, in a point in time, right? So this is a frame, this is a painting. This is not, the animation is an abstract concept. So it's moving. And so even though the 3D here will of course interpolate, well, I was saying that this is not like 40, even this is not, well, yes, it's slightly more than 12s, that will say on choose. Yeah, so this is slightly faster than economic cartoon animation 2D, right? But it's, yeah, it could be lower lower FPS even, but it's not on ones like 24, right? So I've made this on purpose to try to mimic something, and what I'm saying about the motion is that it's just as in painting or other art forms that where naturalism exists or is valid concept, very valid approach. So it's easy to appreciate naturalistic things, naturalistic interpretation, naturalistic motion, right? Very fluid, like in nature. But when we try to appreciate something that is strangely timed, this is more complicated. This requires some it varies a lot, right? But many people will find it uncomfortable for good reasons. We don't see animation in real life, right? So we are used to normal motion. But what is the art of animation? Is that the illusion of life, simply. The illusion of life of Disney. There's a book about that. It's a fantastic book to know history of animation from the perspective of Walt Disney, of course, and the perspective particularly of the writers of the book, which were the gold age animators, I don't know the names by heart now, but I knew at some point. And so, alright, so we have this. Okay, enough said. So basically, what I'm trying to do here is some sort of a crunchy motion. I'm not a realistic animator. I know how to make some fluid motion, but I fucking don't care about naturalistic motion. What I care about is interesting motion. So for me, if we had something that so can you feel this motion, right? Even if I'm controlling here, this is like surrealistic, right? So we know what is going on, but if I play this, if it's naturalistic, it dies, right? It's not good. Of course, this is because my naturalistic skills aren't that good, right? I'm not really interested in making that, so I just want to make an animation with a particular timing, of course not slow like this, right, or spikily irregular, but that wouldn't be a bad idea, right? I just lack the imagination to do something as great as that I'm saying here, but we can go and explore it. So the idea here, so basically, is making some sort of, not in between the something more realistic or surrealistic. I want to make something stylized, and for this I need to improve how this stuff are moving. So I don't want this kind of fluidity here. You see, it's very fluid if I run fast, right? Because this is all interpolated, right? So besides what I'm saying about naturalism, 3D animation can be very boring, because not only because of renderings, but also because it will tend to interpolate everything unless we give some special settings to control this, to automate this, or to not let in a special way, or to not let the computer, the software, automate in a whatever repetitive way. Like this can be very good, actually, those automations where we are doing precisely certain I wouldn't say naturalistic motion, because this is another problem. Naturalistic motion, especially on the human figure, are very, very complex, and so we don't get good animation, even 3D animation, by just having fluid motion. This is ridiculous. It's much more about the timing of the arcs of motion, and yeah, all the principles, if you want, of animation. And then on top of that we also have the fluid motion, right? So that is right. Okay, so alright, so here I have a lot of incomplete stuff. If I were to make this thing more interesting, it doesn't matter, it's there's a lot of work to do if we want to make interesting animation. Here there are many boring and awkward things, but some things are good enough, I think, like yeah, I see. So let's see, how can we get another problem that wasn't mentioned, I didn't mention, is for rendering the final scene, I want to have not this angle, I want to have a special angle. This is not something she's kicking, this is a bone that I made for the camera. It's a new technique I'm experimenting with. So this is a bone of the armature of the character. So it's the same. It's in the same armature of the character. So I can control the camera from the character pose mode, which is crazy. We can do this. Basically, I've put that the camera is controlled by. Wait, where's the camera right now? The camera is constrained to, should be actually constrained to, yes, to that, yeah, it's constrained to that bone, but I need to improve this. Maybe I need, I've been studying some camera techniques, so, but I still don't know how to make ideal camera motion for this. So, but this idea, because then the cool thing about having a bone that does that is that I can have a motion path for the camera, which is crazy, because the objects, they don't have motion path. Yeah, the track is not motion path. So motion path is something that, at least for now, is only for bones. So instead of having some sort of, my idea here, instead of having some sort of also I can, now that I've learned a new trick from the tutorials, I know that I can also have an object in the scene. Could be another bone actually. Let's do this, folks. Let's get, okay, I need to go on the rig. So this is the camera bone, yeah. For some reason it is there. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a duplicate of this bone. I'm gonna make it smaller. I'm not sure about the orientation of this bone, so maybe I'm gonna just rotate it yeah. So I want to place this bone like to apparented perhaps to the head bone, yeah. So that would mean that, yeah, let's parent to the head. I hope this head bone is stable. So what this does is that this will focus a camera, okay, cam head. And yeah, I like the axis here. I always work with axis showing. Alright, so it looks fine. The axis pointing, no. Let's do the opposite. It would sound more adequate for me. Okay, let's reset here. Okay, so this bone is parented to isn't it parented to the, what has happened here? I don't see the, relation lines. Oh, because they are not enabled. Alright, so here we go. Then this one doesn't need parented. Yeah, we can parent to the root bone. Good idea. Okay, let's parent it to the root bone. And now this could cause problem, particularly because on this animation I've made a special motion, so not even that. Should I have any other bone other than that? No. So what I saw from other tutorials is that, actually let's also change something here. Let's change, I'm not sure if this idea is good, to have, so I'm experimenting, right, the idea of having bones in the armature that will control the camera, but I prefer this than the idea of yeah, the problem is this is in the middle of the character, so this is annoying. Maybe I have to get it in some sort of, yeah, I need to give it like some viewport display. Let's see, custom object. Yeah, I cannot use anything here if I don't use do we have any empty? I don't think we have any empty stuff, so this is annoying. Yeah, I would like to use something override transform, bone that defines display transforms. Can't I have any whatever object that could help here? Let's see. Okay. What is this? Wrong. So shift F7 here. No, it's the out. This is properties error. It's the outliner. F6, F8, F9. Yes, F9. Okay, so going back here, cursor to world origin. Let's add something like an empty. Let's call it whatever, just a, yeah, it can be this plain axis, and so I'm going to, no, not this. Let's undo. Actually, yeah, I created the empty. No, I don't want that. Yeah, okay, let's use this. So I'm gonna reduce its size and it will be empty. Yeah, whatever, empty. And I'm gonna hide it because we don't want to deal with it anymore. Then it should be in another collection, right? Then I get here. Let's go to pose mode. Let's get to the bone and let's get is that empty, right? And then override transform, yes, the head. So that means that it will, the bone itself will use the custom shape and it should appear in here. It's confusing right now, but let's see. Oh, it doesn't work. No, it is there. Okay. Okay, we see the bone here, right? It does nothing currently. If I turn this off, if I delete this, it is free to move. It should be free to move actually, but if I get it to the head, it means, well, maybe it's still moving. Yeah, it is still moving, but it looks like it's glued to the head. So this is bizarre. So maybe this is a bad idea after all. So let's just let it be like that, and so be it. So basically what this, at least is not a bone that is too much in the way, but yes, it is still annoying. So what I do is that I can, if I get this camera head bone name, I can get this to, oh, this bone also doesn't have a, yes. So now that I have the axis here, I need to understand. So the camera is going, yeah, it's following its z-axis. We can use this, even though this is sort of upward, negative z, right? And so what we need to do here is to get, so where is the negative z? The camera points down, right? So alright, so we see what that means. So there should certainly be a better way to do that. Like the camera could be pointing the y-axis of this thing, right? So this would depend on the copy transforms, right? So that should be yeah, so the rotation thing, it's a bit complicated because the camera has its own axis, I think. It's a bit complicated. I have never dealt with this before, but in principle the camera should have axes too. Okay, its axes are a bit weird, right? So that's why so the z-axis of the camera should always be pointing behind, and this is why if I wanted the plane of the camera, that will be the negative z, which is currently what it is. Okay, but this is something of the camera. I cannot change the negative z, so they are matching. So I wanted this matching, so this is okay. So this is why the copy transform is doing that. It's just not very good regarding the bone shape, the bone, right? But regarding the, yeah, maybe the posing of the bone, the G, the rotation, all those, yeah, global stuff, right? Like posing locally, this might not be ideal, but posing globally doesn't matter, the axis of there. The problem is, yeah, I don't have a shape, custom shape for this bone, so like it could match the shape of the camera. That would be cool, right? But the camera is not, yeah, I cannot use the camera as a custom shape, right? Can I? No, I don't think this is possible. If I were to do this, I should have to recreate maybe a cone, right? Although the cone is not a great, it's not like the camera. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is no camera object that, wait, so it can, but where it is, so where's the, where is the camera? Yeah, this is this name is, no, the empty is not called camera. It's really the camera object, but then why doesn't it show as a true camera, right? We don't, it's clear, we, yeah, sadly this doesn't seem to show anything. Yeah, so no, this is useless. There's no mesh here, so whatever, let's... So currently the motion that I have for this camera is incomplete. I was just experimenting. It doesn't do good enough, so... Oh, hold on. What's happening here? I think I need to... Yeah, so... hold on. I'm stuck into... Something is going wrong here. Alright. So if I go back to the camera, let's unhide. So the camera has this copy transformed, right? So I cannot move the camera. And also if I... Yeah, so the camera has lots of strange keyframes there. This is incorrect. So this is the motion of her, and if the camera shouldn't have those things. However, should I delete those things? If I delete this, it's like I've deleted the animation. No, the animation is still there. Okay, but why can't I see it? Summary is empty. Very strange. Did I push down this to the NLA editor? Nonlinear editor. I thought I've made a shortcut for that. That doesn't work. No, there's no animation track here, so how this animation can, as I select the bones, oh, it's because of this, of course. Alright, so no. Okay, so we're gonna mystery here. Let's close this and reset, delete, open again. Motion, no, action. I think this is, yeah, this is not my file, so there's a lot of things I'm not sure about here. So anyways, I have saved, so I can just, right before I destroyed everything. So right before I've deleted this, because those are in the camera, right? So this is ridiculous, and this should be one thing that is causing obliteration of everything. So here I can control, as you can see, the camera motion with a bone. So this is the camera bone, but there are other keyframes regarding, right, the whole character. Yes. So I don't want keyframes for the camera. I just want, so what I can do, what I've seen from the other tutorials that we can use, for example, I can have this bone, if I can only select it. So yeah, so you have some motion there that is, let's delete all that, right? Why not? I can totally redo this stuff, right? Then let's go in the beginning. The motion path, of course, is wrong. Alt T. No, it's not Alt T. Oh yeah, Alt T is conflicting with, yeah, with the other app. Then I should change that. I can't do now, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna delete this path that is not being used, so can restart from scratch. And here I've already gonna start with some bone constraint in which I'm gonna get yeah, there's a cam bone somewhere, so I'm gonna just get it. So I'm gonna create a bone constraint here. So copy rotation, I think. Yes, no, it's track 2. They use the track 2, but in this case I think a dump track would be safer, easier to make. Then yeah, then we get this, and then here would be cam head, yeah, because we know. Then instead of this, I know it's the negative Z, and this will mean that I have an automation here as long as I got this keyframed, right? So basically I should keyframe this property, the influence. And so here this is less work, so this is a trick that I've learned these days, and yeah, it's like not, yeah, the problem it will be following, the head is moving, so I don't have a, maybe I should do it different, right? Maybe I should track to the root. Yeah, so maybe this was stupid. This will create though some sort of waving motion that can be interesting. Not sure if that will be good, but so if I check from the perspective of, it's not too bad, right? So you have a dumped track about that. The camera though doesn't seem to be, oh, I see. The dumped track doesn't have the Y rotation, or it lacks some, so let's just do something like here. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm going to instead add another bone constraint that will be a, so they use the track 2 or lock track, I don't remember. So this one has more has other effect, and this one, so same thing here, I guess, target Z. No, I'm not sure about that, but let's use these settings for now. And so if I play, do we see any, no, it's like it doesn't rotate along the head. So target Z, what does this does? It seems not to be very, oh, the up is the Y. Yes, the up is the Y. Target or axis that points upward, yeah, the Y. Alright, and Z, of course, this will be, not sure about this one. Now this bugs the system, it destroys it. So we see that it doesn't follow the, yeah, the head rotates, so the parented bone should rotate, so this is not rotating laterally. So what about X? No, not this. And target Z, this destroys the rig. Okay, this, yeah, so I can't seem to got this thing right with this system, except that maybe target, let's try this, local space, using its own local space. No, it seems to have broken. No, yeah, so never mind, this doesn't seem to work. So this track 2 is very annoying sometimes. I think it's harder to use than the dumped track. We don't have, I'm still lacking, I believe, one rotation. So let's, yeah, I'm gonna ignore this. What about the block track? I'm gonna copy this. So Z, this be Y. Yeah, it's locked, so this one is expected that it won't. Yeah, so I'm uncertain about one of the rotations. So maybe what I can do is use the dumped track and on top of that, or usually it's before, so add a copy rotation bone constraint just on one axis. So this is a technique that, if I remember properly, I was using for some head track thing. So here, if there is one, I'm not sure which would be. Here we don't have world, so this is probably wrong, so we're gonna get local and local. This can be pretty confusing. The y-axis of that, the z-axis of that, now the x, I have to check here. So I want that this tilting, so this is the z-axis, right? So I want the z-axis, hope that will work, the z-axis to, yeah, so this should be tilting now. Yeah, you see, so this sort of have, it's not sure if it's working properly, but let's try this, because the head is rotating a lot, so this doesn't seem to be very strong rotation, but the others, yeah, so what is this? I have no idea. So I parented it, so okay folks, so maybe this is, at least we see that there is some tilting, but I'm not sure this is good enough, exactly what I wanted. So anyways, what I can do, however, is try to animate this, and as I pose the, oh yes, let's get this thing, also a technique that people use on this. Of course, we get another thing here, and then we use home, not scroll lock, home, and so we have this thing. We can also change the looking, we can hide everything here, and then we can play with with some stuff here. So now what I'm gonna try to do is to keyframe some stuff on this bone, and this, now this is despite the fact it has alpha, it is on the way, so yeah, let's leave it here for now. So okay, so let's keyframe this. What is my keying location? Well, everything, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. So let's try to, yeah, let's change here, actually move it. Oh, I see, the rotation actually doesn't let me do the exact motion that I want, so a little disadvantage in this. I still have control, strangely, of an axis of rotation. Yes, I still can control one, but it's not alright, where's the keyframe? Here. Alright, so we have this keyframe. Let's play. What can I do? Yes, those motions are not super interesting. Let's bring this to the front. Yeah, here what if I turn this off? Maybe it's better. Yeah, we could turn this off and keep like the rotation to be a manual thing, right? So yeah, I see that the fact that this keeps wobbling sort of makes it strange, right? It feels strange the way it moves the camera, right? So another strategy then would be exactly to use the root instead. So I think it could be better. So yeah, instead of, no, this will keep like that, but let's use here the root. So now we've made something completely different. So now it's normal that it's pointing down, so this is a problem, and I don't think I have a way to control this. Yeah, so this is I don't have a bone in the middle, right? So the only way perhaps is to put this like in the middle, some sort of near here, right? So let's reset here. No, let's push it down. No, reset. It's still, oh, of course, it's still looking for the root, but actually should be looking for the camera. No. I've just changed the bone itself. That actually I'll change this. I'll get this, follow the... I need this to follow the torso, the chest, the hips, the... Yeah, let's get it parented to the this, and to avoid any confusion, let's just call it torso, chest. Yeah, it can be somewhere here. Then I need to change the bone constraint here. Okay, copy here, and now, yes, this is better, much better. So now I can have, the chest also rotates a lot, but let's see, strange. Yeah, probably this is the wrong bone constraint, or it's stacking. I haven't resolved this properly, so yeah, problems here. This is probably not world space, right? It's certainly would be, yeah, this is so I'm just gonna delete it. This sort of tilting I do manually, so let's bring it to, well, now I can create some interpolation, and so instead of making a curve path, curve object path, I can instead make some interpolation, right, that will create, yes, with the, yeah, I have slow in, slow, I don't know the name, but I have some interpolation here. So I have curve motion, that's good, but I have, you see, it stacks the frames here in the start, then it starts to spread apart, and then it starts to, this is not necessarily bad, but it's not maybe exactly what we want for every time. So easing mode, let's see if we can, automatic easing, can I don't think I can control easing here. Yeah, I don't know how we can solve this here. I think this doesn't affect this. I'm not sure how this will be affected by, I don't know how to use this in here, but what I know what we can do is that, yeah, I have extra keyframe here. Now let's delete it. So what I know it can do is that exactly we can manually set some interpolation to create the curve that we want, more or less. The rotation of the camera is already automatic because of the bone constraint, which is interesting. And so instead of changing a curve path, curve object path, a path curve object maybe, what I'm doing is changing the motion path directly from the bone which controls the camera. And so, can I rotate? No, I cannot, but yeah, and here this sort of locks some of the rotation. So this is not very interesting. If I could have this dumped track free to move, this is another thing that I want. So let's try to get a yeah, track 2 should be the way, right? But then it causes problems, right? But now my objective is different, so maybe this is the better idea. So yeah, here we probably need that. So let's see. In principle, this is doing the same thing. And is it free to rotate? No, it's completely locked. So maybe I'm not sure if this would help. Yeah, no, it is not the kind of... Yeah, so this of course can be made with another controller. That means if this bone is parented to something else, another bone, then I can force this. I've saw in yet another tutorial, but it was using empty objects. So the idea is that I can still, yes, here I have one possible rotation, which may be good, maybe not good. And because this bone is parented to the root bone, yes, so this is what I'm gonna do is that I'm not parented to the root bone. Why can't I clear parent? Okay, no, this is rotated not because of parenting. It's already it's because of the constraint, the bone constraint. So I will duplicate this and make yes, place this there. All right, so this will be actually parented to that one. So this will be camera, and this will camera rotator. So that means that it is parented, yeah, so camera mover, whatever, and camera rotator. And so this means if I can not good. No, this has dumped track. Okay, don't want that. So camera rotator can provide any rotation of the of the camera that I might want, that doesn't respect, well, it will still, yeah, the camera still will focus will look towards the car, so it doesn't deny the, so it's just, yeah, it's not what I wanted, but it's sure, yeah, but this is like, it's useless because I can, not useless, but this is redundant because I can do this kind of rotations with another way. So I'm gonna delete this, yes, because I can obtain the same rotations if I just rotate, for example, around the 3D cursor, right? Alright, so let's delete some keyframes here. Let's go back here. And so here we need to reach for this. And here I'm gonna... Okay, so the idea is it'll be to keyframe the dumped track in the end, right? So it's like... Yeah, so apparently if I want this facility, then at some point that will become a nuisance, because we'll have just to yeah, so keyframe that, not used to this, but that, no, not driver, but add to keyset, no, add keyframe, add driver, insert keyframe. Okay, it's here. Okay, so I added keyframe to this, and if I want maybe here add keyframe, that will reduce to 0. Then for some reason this is turning... Yeah, so this is why it will be doing that. Okay, I'm rotating. Yeah, so let's see. No, it's being totally... Yeah, it's losing its... So this must be done maybe suddenly, right? So it's like... Yeah, this is the annoying part. So this is like... This will be 1, and then suddenly it chops, but then it will be hard to find the... Yeah, or I can just try to smooth this out, right? So like, yeah, annoying thing. So yeah, certainly this is more complicated. So to get this right, so just because the camera was... Yeah, it's moving in some area. I don't know why it... Of course, it was pointing somewhat to this direction, and then as we... Yeah, it doesn't stack with this. It doesn't like apply that rotation. This is a disadvantage of having those things automated. Have to swap. Thinking about, could there be some way to do that instead? If I could... The automation is good, but then this is chaotic. Isn't there a way to just blend those things better? I just cannot know where is... I don't have reference of positioning. I would need to look back. Yeah, there's a problem with the lack of ghosting, right? For the bone or for the camera, I just cannot match this. So this is... Yeah, annoying. So I don't know, folks. There certainly should be a smart way, but this is complicated, right? It creates a limitation which I'm not very fan of. All those simple stuff, right? Just because yeah, actually I should bake the... I haven't thought about this before, but yeah, we could bake this motion, right? Only of the camera. Can I only bake yeah, because currently this has this, so let's see. Apparently it's not here. Bake keyframes, Shift Alt O. I hope it just adds for this object, this bone. Let's check. Alright, so the problem is that this baking, if I disable that, it doesn't stack. I'm checking the keyframe by keyframe, but no. Okay, so so that would be one way to solve that, but it's sort of inconvenient, because if I want now to reshape this, I've just lost my, right? No, so this is not that good, right? But in the end, in some circumstances, this can be helped. But no, it's a possibility, but it's quite unsatisfying. Let's go back once again. Let's go there. So okay, it is. No, why it's not functioning? So if I enable this, oh, it's influence is 0. Okay, here we go. So let's yeah. So let's remake the motion here and see if we can do some camera motion with just very simple tricks, right? Let's see. Yes, let's move this. Apparently here we have some this angle. What about that? This is kind of interesting, but should it start like that? No, it shouldn't. So let's just get this duplicated here. It stays in place. Then let's get this. No, so it's not. It's getting into some trouble here in this interpolation for some reason. So let's reinterpolate this here. Yeah, so here is not that curved thing, so we'll try to adapt. Give this, yeah, some. So sometimes this can get messy. Yes, I know why this time. So there are a lot of keyframes here that we don't see, right? Because the time they start to move. So this is after. We see the number here. So here, let's do some changes. First, I want this to be faster, so let's push this back even faster. And this actually, let's bring it up. What's happening? Oh yeah, maybe it's the wrong one. Yeah, so this yeah, this one, let's push it back. And now for some reason it got very chaotic. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's happening here, so let's just delete these keyframes and get this to be here. Yeah, so the camera is going sort of seem to be going forward and backward in a strange way. So here it approaches, but maybe this is bad, so I want to push this. No, and here let's push it against its local Z, so it goes back, and then looks like it didn't update. So just in case, there you go. Alright, I must make sure this actually gets maybe further, so let's try this. We can play, yeah, maybe let's do something crazy here. I have good focus right now, so I don't have to care too much about the rotation, so this is a good thing. No, too fast, too... No, too bizarre, too zoom in. But I like this rotation here, then maybe we should stop by this. By something like here we should, yeah, let's bring this here. Also, let's move this up, like this positioning I think is not good, this angle, but then I cannot control the, yeah, so here's the problem again of the focus. What I can do maybe is try to approximate, then of course I'm gonna duplicate this. Let's try this instead, so I delete this, and no, actually I get this, move here, F, didn't work, F, no, alright, let's delete this, for some reason, F here, so this is the beginning. This motion is poor rotation, let's change that, let's move it like something, maybe some unexpected motion, right? No, this is too bad, it's not subtle enough. So maybe this is better, yeah, this is slightly better. But it's too slow. And now it's too fast. And then here this should end faster also, and if we can smooth this out would be good. And then I don't know what is happening to the camera here. It just looks like she's jumping, but it's not the case. The camera is moving on its own. So this is because it's following the torso. So yes, at this point I cannot control this camera very well if I do not find the solution for this maddening thing. So if I add a insert keyframe for this, right? Okay, big problem here. I need to have this bone maintain the same rotation as it had here. So maybe I can track down this transform. No, because these transforms are... So there's a way to copy global things. Why this is keyframed? So yes, because it maintains this. It still contains this. Can I keyframe this too? Ah, yes. So actually, add insert keyframe 1. This we're going to delete this clear keyframe, and this will be 1. Let's keep it at 1, except that here, yes, insert keyframe and replace keyframe. No, but this data continues there, so solved nothing. We just had an abrupt change, but this bone still retains. I haven't keyframed those things. Okay, maybe I have keyframed this accidentally. Sure, I'm working with it, so of course I'm keyframing it, right? So as soon as it loses, I cannot, yeah, I have not the references. So I know maybe copy attributes inbuilt add-on. So if I can copy the local rotation, if this would ever work here. Okay, if I reset the rotations, of course, this is pretty bad. Yeah, I have no idea how I can... Yeah, their values are very different, right? Oh, must be totally a visual thing. The only thing that I can... Yeah, it's just maybe one rotation that I should be knowing, but even so, this is pretty confusing, right? Yeah, I cannot solve this thing just because of a stupid bone constraint. I know there's some... No, but this is for location. So copy visual rotation. Can I paste? Paste pose. Internal clipboard is empty. I don't know why. Copy pose. Paste pose. No, yeah, it's the same problem. But at least... Yeah, at least I'm back to the condition where it's just local Y rotation, maybe. No, it's clearly not just the Y. So but now maybe it's very subtle. Yeah, but it's not. So I can interpolate that, right? So why I'm doing this? If this is an approximation, get this stuff, interpolation Bezier, and there's just one frame here. What is doing? Of course, it's still, actually it's, yeah, the the problem is that this should be the keyframe here with there we go, yeah. No? Suddenly, yeah, I got it. So it's a redundancy, so it is still not working. So now I disable, then of course all the motion that I've made is lost. So oh, this very hellish thing. Okay, so I don't know, folks. This is there should be. I've seen some tutorials that were doing that, but for some reason I've just something more or less like this. So if there were some way that I could simply get this look not controlled by this crappy thing, then probably I could right, so of course now I'm losing the look, so this will be very manual and sort of stupid if there are other ways, but there's a great advantage if we don't have to deal with this kind of problem, right, folks? So see, I cannot automate the camera to tell it, oh, look at the character, or is there something of that kind, like what I'm doing here. Focus that, orient, yes. So let me think, alignment, right? Some align to that. Align the z-axis, negative z-axis, z-axis aligned to. Okay, so how do you do that alignment in pose mode? It looks like there is I have a blank mind right now about the alignment. Do you have align roles? No. We don't have this kind of, let's see, align camera to view, no. Align, it's all about view but nothing about bones, and I'm on pose mode, so apparently alright, folks. So okay, so what I can do is just try to do manually for now. After some point I should really discover how to do that, but while we don't have it, we can at least play with just some pretty manual camera handwork. And this is, yeah, this is the problem. This is why automation is so useful. It's difficult to track the, we need sometimes to create a lot of keyframes, then we can still have the flow, we can redeploy these things, but it's very easy to, so this was one problem I was having, it's very easy to lose the focus, the plane of the character, and so this is very, very annoying. We can get eventually things right, and the great advantage is that we don't have to be doing those crazy things about the turning on and off influences and all that, but this seems to be too, yeah, not very advantageous in this regard. So basically the idea is to learn the technique to have the control of the influences, so we can at any point fix them and have the automation here, which is kind of valuable, right? Because it's much easier to deal with the curves if you don't have to be creating keyframes. The less keyframes, the easier to make the stuff. One advantage though to have more keyframes, that we can make a cooler motion overall. And so here, now let's change here, faster motion here. I love faster, crazy camera motion, right? You know, anime stuff, they're very good at making those camera motion in sometimes so fast way that we keep track of exactly what's happening. So that's a spirit of some of these motion. Of course here might be a bit too fast. I can be a bit more generous here in the sense of getting a better storytelling here, but yeah, the problem is the motion here is uninteresting. No, so let's delete this. No, let's change this one. Then from here, let's maintain the pose for the camera, right? Why not? I can play with, can't we? I can play with this camera here, why not? No, I can't. This is too bad. I would need to be more used to some special techniques here of doing this kind of manual balancing, ballottement, I think in French. So now this is too, yeah, I hate when this happens. Okay, so no, this is too bad. There are two little keyframes here actually, so there's little to do here. Yeah, never mind, let's see. No, ignore this and delete this, delete. Maybe one should do, but there's really, it's hard to, yeah, it's too bad to control keyframes like that. So the problem is that it doesn't seem to have a good slow out there, so interpolation, easing in and out maybe. I'm not sure how this relates to the keyframes. And then we can, alright, so here when we get here, maybe we can start moving again this stuff, the camera. So let's see what we can get here. I like this getting out of the plane for some reason, but maybe if I do that I should try to push this very awkward way. It's like she's kicking something that we don't see. No, wrong. So just, yeah, like it's a cutting. It's hard to. And then from here, I don't know really the theory of camera stuff, right? I'm studying, revising stuff. I know of planes, but of camera motion, it's something slightly experimental for me. And so here, and you can be good and do always predictable things that will work. Yes, let's change this. I think the good thing is to keep doing crazy stuff, learn something until we are able to make some. Maybe it takes a long time, right, on that approach. But I feel like there's a lot of potential for any camera motion in 3D. This is very bad. I need to find something more interesting here. Yeah, I've kind of lost the idea. So the cut, and here I need to this. Oh, I got it. I'm gonna rotate this to the front. Ideas, right? It's all about getting ideas and trying to break in the rules at some point. If we know the rules is better. If we don't know the rules, or having just some good insights of memory ideas. And then in 3D, what I've seen is that it's really hard to make those camera motion without the techniques, right? In Blender, it's like, at least for me, it's very unintuitive, and that I struggled a lot with the camera motion. Then as I was looking some videos, yeah, there are some ugly interpreters. So this is a bad shot, not shot, sorry, a bad plane. So maybe we could go harder, but let's see how this is about. So cut here. Let's push it back. I probably. Now, then the camera is doing something very bad. So this is too. Okay, it's good until here, sort of. But then here I need to push this camera to the front of the character, which, yeah, so this motion here, I think it needs to be pushed. Like, the problem is that you see those other keyframes are difficult to, yeah, there's something weird happening there. It's like I have, what is that? Okay, oh, the camera stays in place here, I see. Okay, it goes linearly there, which is a bad thing. This is not good. Yeah, we need maybe just some motion here. Yeah. So what I have in mind usually, I think about composition. I have difficulty in setting the composition like in motion, if you know what I mean. I have on my mind, but to set in 3D the way I imagine is very hard. But for me the idea is I know the planes, right? The planes that are good, or I can find them. The problem is to have this thing collaborate on the motion from the transitioning in the 3D space. This is controlling the camera. So it's a really cameraman work, right? Creative cameraman work. So that's so it's part technical, part artistical, and here, of course, struggling with this motion paths here, which are, so she needs to be turning around. I see that the camera needs to do a lot of work here. I don't have, yeah, it would help probably to have the automation, but at the same time, yeah, I will need to find the solution for it. Of the, yeah, this is not good enough. Let's see, what's this? This one I'm gonna delete because this might be, okay, this is more likely, yeah. So you see there's some very harsh downward motion that is actually making some sort of curve, but maybe it should be longer. It's not even curving. Yeah, it is curving. How the hell it is curving? Oh, of course, this is curving because I have this. So let's try to, yeah, so closer from the bottom view and out of plane. The hand, I'm changing the wrong one, no! Oh, I see, okay, this one is wrong. Here, if I can push this, I don't know what this will do. Okay, we can play with that part here, but maybe, yeah, this is better. Then as she falls down, we kind of fall down too brutally. The camera, like, it's, right, she's jumping, but if you see the animation there, she's falling, and the camera should try to follow to fall, sorry. So the camera is just going straight down, but this is not a good motion. Let's do something like that. I think it's the inverse, maybe. Yeah, because, or no, actually just be looking down. I'm not sure. Let's try that. Probably this is bad. I'm not sure this is what I want, so let's make this. This creates, this can conflict with the because this is the interpolated, right? So instead, let's push this down. No, so it's still, it's similar to what I started with, so you see, it's very interesting what we can do with, what's happening here? I think it's, I made some, now let's keep it up, and it's not updating, or actually it is, but yeah, so here let's try to, I need to check what can I do about this. Yeah, this is dangerous. No, what is happening here? What is this? Okay, so some frames which are lost in time space. No. Yeah, I don't like how this camera is. Okay, so we have this, and then maybe here we can approximate. I know already how I want to end. Of course, this is Okay, maybe I can delete this in between and focus again on she is not followed yet. Okay, let's delete that too. And here, yeah, I know I've sort of destroyed my the great advantage of having the camera on a bone is that really I found out it's really nice to, so from here I can shift D and then I can maybe shift D again, let's, although this was not necessary, so I can she'll stand up at some point. The camera moving up at this space. No, this is a duplicate. Alright, this is wrong. Camera moving up faster, so just copy here and yeah, so as we learn those tricks it becomes much easier. And so here I'm starting to like this idea of additive motion, or so dolly, like one motion after the other, so it like, yeah, we can keep moving up slightly and then moving down. That actually this is, let's move this, get this one, merge, no, the opposite, this will merge into this, and this can probably, should we be looking at her feet? I'm not sure. Yeah, this is probably, yeah, I like this one, this is particularly cool, but it's too much, it's too high. I want to, maybe we need to bring this like that, so you have like various timings of camera motion that stacks, and this adds to the quality of the animation itself. The problem is that there is no indication exactly of what is moving on the camera. It's like you have to keep in mind and look at the object itself and to the animation. I'm not currently getting the camera following the keyframes, right? It has its own motion, and this is very very independent in relation to how I keyframe the character. So here, most likely I would like to have this move, yeah. Let's try this, and ZZ. ZZ, no, not in French. Z and Z. Alright, and maybe slide rotation here. Yes, because why look that way, right? So let's slowly this way. Yeah, and maybe we can go, yeah, maybe probably you can push, not sure which one I should push, but okay, let's do that. This one, yeah, I'm unmaking the timing. This is very dangerous because sometimes the timings here are very important. This part is lacking, of course. I got this was good, and then I need some in-between camera here to reach, so a pose like this sort of. This one is maybe not very good. This one is, but this part, yeah, this is the same camera, but the position doesn't change, so it's maybe I just need to change here and get, okay, so it's here that I need to, I want this to be closer to, yeah, I got it. I want this camera to arrive closer to, so what I'm going to do, I'm gonna duplicate this one, but I'm gonna, no, this didn't work. Didn't work. I want to pick the camera here and place here. And now, yes, it is there, but now this, of course, I need to interpolate differently. Yes, I had it, hold on. It's confusing because the keyframes are here, but the position ending is here, so they are crossing. Spatial confusion. So I want that at this part would be closer to that. So here I need to keyframe this so that this camera is closer. It's not, yeah, it's somewhere here. It should be something like that, right? And of course something went wrong here. I need to delete this one, right? Something went wrong here with this keyframing. Now it's, yeah, now it's clear. I got this good, but then immediately this rotation is not good. Yeah, so didn't work yet. I need to change this position, and it's not clear what it can do. But now it's just about this pure interpolation here. Or maybe I need another one. So there's this. Yeah, I probably will need another one. So here I can directly interpolate into the... So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this here, but let's... This cannot do that curve, nor this. About probably not this too. Here we're approaching to something that could be interesting. It's very confusing sometimes. Maybe I should try to see the camera in time instead of the frame itself. Yeah, because I know what I want from the, but it's confusing to look everything at the same. Now I'm starting to understand the problem. Yes, so I need to rush this motion of the camera to, it will reach that point, right? So I need to sort of rush it here. In order to have it's Y rotation. Yes, I think this was the idea. But then this part is too... Yeah, maybe I can... Not sure what I do with that, but probably I can push this like that. Now you have a too violent motion that is after this. The camera is going down too much. So this means that this camera should not go that down. And this frame is sort of bad. So let's just delete this one. Now this falls. Now this is going up. Let's do this. Let's try to recenter. Nope. So it's need a brick down there, right? So yes, I cannot allow the camera to have this keyframe here. So let's push this again, and here we are lacking. Yeah, so this is too linear. So maybe I need to make that curve. What about pushing this back? This is strange, but maybe this is the kind of thing I want. I want the camera to... And then of course it conflicts, because this is not a new idea in the soup, but it is sort of conflicting right now. Too many rotations, and I cannot, yeah, wait, maybe I can add a few more frames here so we can, yeah. It's very hard to... I could manually create keyframes, right? So this is not... yeah, I can try to control the camera like frame by frame, so that could help too, but it's a lot of hard work. But at least that will be control, more means of control. Let's delete this, duplicate that, and try to set this. This is not a problem for me exactly, because this is how I animated by hand, right? But animating camera, this is not something I'm very familiar with. So now it's really a question of, in parts, a question of animation, but I see what's happening there, because there's lacking of an object here that would have this impact of the kick. It's invisible. I need to get something to... Yeah, I cannot show these legs as I move the camera on these, so I sort of need to hide the way these legs are appearing, and this is complicated. So I'm trying to... Maybe I need to hide the... So I'm going down, she's falling. Yes. So I can fasten this falling. I don't like how the camera rotates right here, so let's do that faster, and maybe, yeah, this is better, more sudden. So there's even more if we want. So we can even exaggerate this. It feels like there is a looking down rotation. Now I've got it too much. It's subtle. That's good. And here, if there's something, why not? Not sure. Another tilting. This is ridiculous. Let's see if it gives any. And then the end is too linear. This didn't do anything. Here, let's try to... Yeah, of course, this is not... This is not good, so not bad nor good. I think it's just unnecessary. So here maybe this, yeah, we should get this faster. The pacing here of this should be faster. Yeah, and maybe here. No, hold on. What about, yeah, so here, should we, this too fast and loses the vision. Okay, this is better. Maybe that's better. Okay, and then I'm looking here, right? And then to finish here, maybe faster. So I see too fast here. Maybe just something like here. Yes. So I see the idea, timing, right? To get, try to combine the animation with the planes, with the composition. This could be slightly more. No. So it's a question of milliseconds. If you get a few milliseconds different, it creates a different impact. Yeah, so I need to get more presence in this. So maybe, let's see. Okay, let's try to push. I'm not sure what is responsible for. Okay, so we're gonna find out. Okay, let's push this in this direction. No. What if I push this in this direction? Also not. So this is tricky. So something I need to push differently. Okay, this is interesting. That gap in visualization, but of course maybe not in this way. I need to, and that part I need to expand the positioning. I see. Okay, I know what's happening. It's because the character is rotating, right? Sort of fast here. The camera should be able to, in order to keep this pose, the visualization of this pose, I need to sort of keep having the camera, but I can't do that because the camera is, yes, I actually, this is contradicting the, yeah, it's I wanted to show more of this, but then the camera is going down, so it cannot go there, right? So I need to, yeah, so there's a problem here of how do I keep this. Okay, so there's a very impactful thing that should happen here, and this is the question that I need to find a way to solve. It's clear that if I find a way to get this camera here in a, okay, this up, and this position of the camera, alright, let's try this, and then it starts to restore the No, this is broken. Let's delete this keyframe. So here I can probably, yes. I could change this keyframe, right? So this one, it could be, then the camera goes down, and this is a problem. So not this, but this part here. So yes, because the camera is moving. And it's also rotating probably, so I sort of lack the understanding of what the camera is doing. This is why it's very important to keep some analyzing, right? So I've saw in some solutions that there was one bone for a certain rotation, another bone for something else, and so in this way we can have a better analysis of the camera motion, and so it becomes easier to solve this kind of composed motion. Otherwise, in full set like here, it becomes tricky, right? So maybe I can delete this, and here we have the same problem, right? So I cannot is the foot, right? So I'll try a little more stuff here. Yeah, definitely this is not a good frame. It's good there, but not before. So the idea, perhaps I should try to push this in a different way. And probably I can try something here. There's a chance I could change even the animation. I think the animation is fine. It's just about how to handle this connection here. Let's delete that and try again. Yeah, so I need the camera to, this is wrong, right? These frames are incorrect. They need to be updated from the, so if I Alt T, yes, this will affect the, it's the wrong shortcut. Yeah, I need to remake that for the future. So let's see, clear, and yeah, Control T now should be okay. Alright, so I have this linear path, which is okay. So if I want to maintain this, that means that the camera should sort of, as we get here, should sort of maintain this, even though the character, yeah, the character is rotating a lot. So there's, and the camera is sort of doing the, okay, so there is some crazy thing I can try to do. I can try to follow that and make the camera go all the way around, maybe. Of course, we'll have to, if I do that, have to make the adapt the pathing clearly enough. and then this will be seen sort of from the opposite side. So here it's very broken, in part because of the lack of keyframes there, I guess. And yeah, it needs a very specific control if I want that. But this is a beautiful shot, yeah. If I can, beautiful compose. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to show more, but I couldn't because the camera was going in the other way. So I got this, and then too much things are going wrong here. Let's see. And maybe this, no, this is okay. So here maybe this is okay, but then we start to have some problems after here, because let's delete that. And here, yes, let's the camera there is in a complete other rotation, I think. I don't know if it will recognize what I'm trying to do. No, this is not fine. So maybe this means doing, yeah, so this rotation here, this angle, now it would mean that I would have to get to this position from all the other, yeah, rotating all around, so the character. Let's see. Let's go back here, yes. From here already I can try to do that. No, it's motion is broken. Let's delete some keyframes here. I need to push more circularly, even though we are lacking so why this motion is being, yeah, in part is lack of keyframes, right? And it's also because of how much the camera is being the distribution of the keyframes also is so start push down, and here is if she's falling, then this means how Blender is interpolating this, I'm not sure. So maybe I try here, and let's delete this. Which foot is this one? Okay, this sort of works, I guess, except maybe I can give a better angle here. A better, orientation, maybe look up. No, not the hips, so just the foot, the shin, or maybe start to look at the knee. Looks like a cut, right? So a cut wouldn't be a bad idea depending on because here I sort of lost exactly at this place. I'm losing the contact, the effect of the impact, because the camera is not rotating as much as it should. Around the character. Of course, the fact that we lack another reference for space is rendering all this more complicated to do. So we don't see exactly the... Yeah, so this is an additional problem, because now if I had something, it might be better to understand, to read this motion. So what I can do despite this limitation is trying to maybe see from a further angle. I'm not sure. Something should be doable. And then let's try to get this and try to establish so this position, let's delete this. Let's try to... No, maybe that one could be useful, although it's... This is bad. And this is also bad, right? Yeah, this is all very difficult right now. And still cannot figure out solution for that, yeah. I really would need some... Maybe should just cut, like work that like a cut, right? So not ideal. Yeah, so camera is rotating, character is rotating, everything is it's... In order to get the proper idea here, the I should just cut there, right? And here, a way to cut. Bad way to cut. But at least it doesn't. It allows to get to ignore this for now. Of course, I want to solve this part. Is easier. This is so animating camera in this beginning. Let's see again. We are never sure if that was good enough. Maybe it's, yeah, there's some things here we can try to improve. Now we are not gonna do this Alt T. No, let's do some okay, so some like camera anticipation, if that means anything. This is not too boring. Yeah, this is better. Better timing here. We got but too fast here. Attention. Here we can probably. What about? Can we play with this? Very slow down motion there. That can be interesting. If I can get, for example, maybe I can change something here. And this is okay. Yeah, then to cut that impossible part there. And so yeah, this is interesting, right? I'm starting to get more comfortable in this approach. So animating character on multiple planes, of course, already trying to think about the I think we can get some, yeah, this is to start with. This is not good enough. This is too strong motion. I should probably not try to do this. So if I delete this, maybe this is better. But then this motion, I don't know why it is curved like that. Let's see. These probably I can think better. Yes. So maybe here let's make this shorter. When does the camera moves? I think it must follow some idea about the arms here. Just like not exactly there, maybe already from here. Yes, that's smooth. Yeah, it's like the own character this can push the scene, the camera, so that's slightly later, like there. Yeah, or maybe slightly a little more, maybe here. Yeah, so and then here we maybe don't need all this string. It seems to be too fast here and too... No, actually fast is good. It's a new... Oh yeah, this arc sounds interesting, like it's like she's preparing something. So instead, let's try to push this there, so it starts to slow down. It never stops actually, and then until the end. So it's just keeps moving with her hands. I need more animation on the hands here. And yeah, this is time is reduced. Should I do something about this? No. I still would like that this would not stop like that, so let's... Okay, it's the same, so let's just delete that. And yeah, so it's a flow, and then bam, and then the foot here, yeah, suddenly appears, and there we go. Alright, so maybe this is took a lot of time, but quite interesting challenge, and we see how using motion paths even on camera controlled by bone can be useful. And actually note that the camera, not the camera, but yes, the controller of the camera is on the same action of the armature. So I made an action that also controls the camera in Blender. Who told that you cannot animate the camera in the same action? I've just found this out as I was trying to rig the camera, and then okay, let's I hope I'm an EV right now. Let's try to, yeah, this viewport, yeah, there's a lot of things here. Ambient occlusion, yeah, I'm already trying to simplify it. Let's make a test here. So Control F2. Oh, what's happening there? Not sure, but yeah, very fast rendering. Control F11. I could end that with because of some special effect, but I really would like to have something more frames there. That part of the beginning is bad. Yeah, there's only two things that are radically bad. This, and I think, yeah, there's some part that is a bit slow here, but this is more about the character animation, I think. So this part, I thought I have fixed this camera. So here this keyframe is bad, so let's try to yeah, I can if I delete this, yeah, need to okay, let's clear and calculate. All right. Oh, forgot. Control T. Let's see. Okay, we can do that motion, except that now I lost one in between. So let's try to, yeah, let's just pose this something like here. Yes. All right. This is fine. So just remake this one. Yeah, better curve, but yeah, it's, I don't like too linear. Let's make some weird tilting here. Maybe this, yeah, can be slightly more, and also here this one can be more chaotic too. No, but we should be careful here, so I'm gonna delete this one and do it again. So I've changed the rotation of the other. Alright. Yeah, I don't want this to get out of the frame. It's still getting slightly cut, so maybe this will help. Okay, this is better. Then, so one problem less. And then here the problem is that this is too, no, not this, but I would like to fasten this action, this part here of the action. It could have a stronger anticipation also on her, but this will be not for the camera then. Yes. So what I can do here, yeah, get this 50% and whatever. Let's re-render that. Yeah, this is I've got this inspiration from some anime scenes. I think for some reason they love, I think it was, yeah, I remember something. It's visual memory, right? So I get a lot of this from, yeah. So there are some pushing camera movement that can be improved indeed. Just some slight adjustments, but overall I think this is, yeah, some motions are a bit too linear on the camera. This one in the beginning, but overall I think this is a good trial. Yeah, this was good. I think can learn a lot with, I've learned a lot from that, and I've kind of consolidated more this strategy here. I will certainly need to keep doing this, right, and experimenting, and then find what is best, but that was already quite interesting. So folks, thanks for watching. That's it for, sorry, there was no character animation here. There are a lot of camera animation though, and it's not something we see a lot, I guess, but so that's it. So I think some stuff here are good, and yes, so take care folks, happy blending, see you next time. And this was actually one of the things that I was wary about. Would I be able to make good camera animation for this one? So this is nearly what I need to conclude in here, is some more retakes and some details of the animation, and a few tweaks on camera motion, and this part, yes, I need to investigate some way to get this better, and then okay, we can cut here. It might be okay to cut, and so that's it. See ya folks, happy blending.